And I got that hint.
Albazi is here. Don't forget to tap into the Darce podcast.
Cal on the ones and twos. We are live for a fantastic episode. And I am here for a big card.
I just don't know what people seen in tape.
I'll see you in that cash.
The main event of the evening.
This is Matt, the Steamroller Frivola. Tap into the Darce podcast for all your MMA bets.
Oh, baby, you better have your guard up this week because we got a dangerous assassin back throwing hands with us. It's Slick Montana, the return of the OG. Took a little social media break, back in the mix with us on the Darce podcast. Of course, here with Mr. Plus Money as well. Every week, Cal on the ones and twos who's been filling in. And by the way, guys, welcome back, Slick. We had a great week last week. Before we recap that, Slick, man, how you been, brother? Good to have you back.
Good, man. You know, just want to take this opportunity to really tell people that, like, whenever there's a moment in your life that you really have to put your pants up, put your hat on. It's just I just had one of those moments, man. You know, like one of those moments where I just felt as though I had to take a break from the social media stuff, you know, just period, because I had to lock in on a new house. Everybody knows I'm expecting well, now that everybody's here, I'm expecting a little girl now. So I'm expecting a little girl. Got the news probably like 2 weeks ago. So like I said, man, everything else, worry about your mental health. Worry about your family. Worry about everything else. This sports and gambling stuff is going to come second at the end of the day. So like I said, I just had to lock in, put my adult pants on, and had to do my thing when it comes to getting this new house. So appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the kind words too, man. I had 50 plus DMs messaging me, telling me, yo, man, we miss you. We miss you on the podcast. Appreciate Brasco and Plus for holding it down. And also Cal for coming in for me whenever we needed him to, for doing his thing. Not to mention the guys freaking swept last week, man. Now it's time for this week, and now it's time to cash Slick Montana back.
Let's go, bro. Love to have you back, man. And yeah, goes to, you know, I can't tell you how many people hit me up. They were like, where's Slick? Where's Slick? I don't want to talk about your news or your business. I was like, listen, man, he's just taking a little break. He'll be back soon, no doubt. And congratulations on the baby girl, too, the house. Big things. Plus, he said it. We had a huge week. I mean, Slick's got huge things in his life. We got a huge bounce back week for the Darce. We kind of needed to crack him for one. People in the chat were like, you guys don't hit the parlay. And then we smacked them big. I know you had a big week. How was your week, man?
Monster week, monster card for us. And we didn't even love the card that much. And those are the ones that are going to get you paid. Slick is back. Congrats on the baby girl. I got 2 girls. So, you know, nothing like being a girl dad for sure. Super proud of you. Super happy that you did step away and did what you did. And here you are. You're back. And to tell the people to do it, man. Personal testimony is the biggest thing to help others. So fucking awesome. Great week of betting for us. Great weekend. Hopefully you guys checked out that new reel that my boy Cal threw up. That shit is dope. The Bag Factory reel. That shit was funny as hell. How about them apples to the trolls if you're here? The trolls are here. But anyway, yeah, big shout out to Cal before we get going. Stepped in, like late notice, right? Stepped in for the fight late notice. Just kept going every week when we didn't have a special guest. And shout out to JB for being here a few times. But man, Cal, every time he came on, delivered fucking winners. So hopefully you guys are watching that. Give him a follow on IG if you haven't already. Don't Tap Podcast. That's our guy.
Let's go. Cal with the Cal 1-2 hit last week. He's in the chat there. He's the Darce podcast in the live chat. Shout out DK, C Calvary, guys. I see you guys here. Any questions you have, we'll bring them up on the show. Hit the Chris Duncan plus 180 Brasco breakdown. Slick, how about that fight? Maybe fight of the year candidate. What a bloodbath. Your thoughts? You were watching, I imagine, right?
I think this year has been the year of the apex. Everybody has been asking for fights in crowded areas. And those fights have not delivered. The apex, man, has been delivering. For the first time ever, we have 2 back-to-back fight of the year candidates. Back-to-back fights, man. That card was so electric to watch, especially our man Chris Duncan for cashing Brasco's breakdown. And man, that was a fight to watch.
Yo, and we cashed the Darce parlay, which was loaded up with Tatsuro Taira, and plus that was your guy. You were saying every leg, hammer down, Taida's going to show levels. Holy shit, he came out, ping, pang, smacked him with the right hand, and immediately he put him on notice. I mean, Taira delivered. What do you think?
Looked pretty good on the feet, didn't he? He looked pretty good on the feet against a striker, and then did his thing. And then got his back and did his thing. And we all called that in the live. So it was awesome, man. It was awesome to see my dude. Yes, thank you. I'm happy. I love this fucking guy. Very electric at the end of fights. I'm excited to see more. And I like exactly everything that he said after the fight, post press conference, everything. He's ready. He wants to get back up there. He thinks he's got more skills than the people that are at the top right now. Yeah, I challenge. Put him back in there, man. That fight against Roy Ball was crazy, right? It was Roy Ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A split decision there. He went toe to toe. He proved he's levels. He's at that caliber. And we'll see what's next for Tatsuro Taira, man. But on to this fight night we go. And it's Anthony Hernandez taking on Roman Dolidze in the main event. This was supposed to be last week's main event, but we got it now. I expect a banger of a fight in the main event. I expect, again, a lot of sneaky bangers. Slick said it. It's the year of the Apex. The small cage creates wars. And we got to start things by bringing our guy back. So salutes up to the Slick Report. We know the caliber of fight analyst that Slick is and the pedigree he brings to the table. But after a long layoff, how is Montana going to look at that time off?
I got my money on Slick by whatever way he wants.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, standing 5'10", weighing in at 185 pounds of pure resolve. He's the storm they couldn't stop, the legend they couldn't lay to rest. He is the Illy from Philly, the slick one, Slick
Listen up, it's Slick Montana, sharp lines. I dissect Philly hustles in my veins. I collect and can run the dog's rise. No surprise, we keep the faith in the fight. Ain't data driven, I'm precise, bringing knowledge to the light. My flows flow like a river. Oh,
Woo! That got me feeling like I'm in the ring. And now I got to give y'all guys a nice play. Honestly, guys, man, this card was probably the worst card I could have came back to. We have in betting wise, because you know, a lot of minus 300 favorites, a lot of minus 400 favorites, a lot of minus 700 favorites, only one favorite under minus 200. So I'm gonna give you guys a 2-leg parlay. We're gonna go with Anthony Hernandez money line, and we're gonna go with Udos Medic money line. You get that like around minus 160. I say put like around 3 units on it. I'm really confident in both these guys. In the Udo Medics fight, I just think it's levels in this fight. You got a guy in Gilbert Urbina who's basically hasn't really stuck his feet into the UFC yet. Really underwhelming coming out of that tough house. You know, losing to guys like Trayshawn Gore, who's now known as a guy that just really wants to look at you, not even fight you anymore. And I just think Medic is going to come back. I think a lot of people are looking at this matchup and they're seeing, because the Medic line is coming up slowly but surely to like minus 400. We got him at like minus 350. I just think Urbina is too hittable. He's going against a technical boxer. Everybody's going to say that, oh yeah, the grappling edge is on the Urbina side. Yes, it is. But we're talking about a guy in Medic Matek Orderby needed 7 takedowns to finally get a submission on him. Gilbert Urbina is nowhere near the type of wrestler that Orderby is, and he's more hittable than Orderby is. I think Medic's going to keep this fight on the feet. Honestly, I think Medic could knock this guy out within the first 3 minutes. His hands are just way more cleaner. Urbina trusts his chin too much, and it has failed him time and time again. His only win in the UFC is a guy that's not in the UFC, and fought him in his retirement fight in Orion Koski. I'm not trusting Urbina in this spot. And then Anthony Hernandez, man. This guy is just shown, like I've been saying time and time again, I'm just not betting against this guy unless he's fighting top 5 talent. He has shown time and time again that he's just levels upon guys with this cardio, with his transitions, with his scrambles, with his wrestling. He's just relentless in that ring. I mean, the octagon. And I know a lot of people are going to say that Dolidze is a good, solid grappler in his own right, which he is. I'll give him that. But the one thing that I dislike about him, is that he'll initiate in those scrambles and he will want to win that next scramble. And he's just not going to do that with a guy like Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez didn't look like nobody was stopping him in the grappling. I give it to Brendan Allen. His last fight looked great in that first round against Anthony Hernandez. But Brendan Allen has way better hands than Dolidze. And Brendan Allen already fought him. So he already had an idea of what he was going to see from Anthony Hernandez. So I understand Dolidze is going to be tough. He's going to be durable. But I just seen, even in that Jack Hermanson fight, he's pulling Gilly. He's trying to create scrambles. He finally got that calf slicer / knockout. But I just don't think he's going to be able to win those scrambles. And in the second and third and fourth and fifth round, we have seen Dolidze slow down. We have seen him get into those sloppy takedowns, sloppy scrambles, and he's been able to win the sloppy scrambles like he did against Imavov, like he did against Jack Hermanson. But I just don't believe he's going to do that against Anthony Hernandez. I think even on the feet, I think Anthony Hernandez pressured. He's going to move forward the whole time. Dolidze, if he had a left body kick that I really trusted, I probably bet him, because we know Anthony Hernandez, his one flaw is his body punches. But, I mean, it's his body. He has been hurt numerous times to the body. A lot of people haven't been able to take advantage of it, but we've seen guys take advantage of it, like Kevin Holland. So I think this is a great spot for Anthony Hernandez. Just keep doing something so Dolidze does nothing. Like Marab type of guy. He's just going in your face, just doing something, so you won't be able to do nothing. I think that's Anthony Hernandez special. So you give me Anthony Hernandez money line, Udos Medic money line, and I think minus 160. And I think, honestly, this is a banger right here.
There you go. Smack it, maybe, because two very reliable sounding legs. And how do you not like it? I mean, Udos Medic starting out. I mean, first of all, great breakdown in the main event. I thought that was really nice there. Characterizing Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, the relentless wrestler, breaks you, drowns you, who's been called the Marab of the middleweight division. So that's the style, right? Just keep you stuck. And we'll talk more about that. I'm going to get Plus's opinion on Fluffy in the main event, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. So we'll go into that fight throughout the podcast. But first, Plus, let's talk about Udos, the Dr. Medic, who, like Slick said, he's got crispy hands, man. And he throws from every angle. He can throw those looping hooks. He throws stinging uppercuts up the middle. He can throw spinning attacks. He's got a flying knee, a spinning back fist knockout win. I think Urbina is going to get caught with something. His striking defense isn't there. I agree with Slick. I got round one knockout in my eyes. What do you think, Plus?
I mean, he looked pretty shitty against Soriano his last fight, but I think this is a good bounce back spot for him. And Gilbert Urbina loves to block punches with his face. That's a dude that gets hit. You see his hair flying, you know what I mean? So he gets hit relentlessly in the face. I like Medic here. It's a good spot for him. He should get back on the winning track with this one. I could see a KO. This is a good inside the distance. Slick was in the comments last week helping everybody out with those second and third round knockouts, which I think they both happened. Pulyev got it, of course. Oh, and then I think what's his name didn't get it. Ribovich got the decision, but we were hoping he would get the late finish. I think this is a good spot for a second or third round KO by Medic. Although Gilbert Urbina loves blocking punches with the face, guy's somewhat durable until he isn't. So yeah, I think he makes it to the second round.
That's the thing. You're right. He has like this gritty, kind of hard-nosed approach. Like, he is tough, but he gets hit clean, and he's been knocked out in all of his UFC losses so far. So. Stopped in all of them and hurt and bad in all of them. So, yeah, I worry that's going to happen again. And okay, onward we march. We're going to talk more about the main event a little bit because that's the Slick report for minus 160. But we got to catch a bus, man. I got my ticket. Grab the strap hanger. All aboard the Mr. Plus Parlay bus.
And I'll see you when that shit catches.
Mr. Plus, Parlay bus, bet it all in trust. Jabs and hooks, it's all about the rush. Put it down on the underdog, never hush. Odds stack high, feel the thrill, that's a must. And I'll see you when that shit cashes. Celebrate the wins with...
I'm calling this entire card the Parlay Party. And how are we getting to the party? We're taking the Mr. Plus Parlay bus to the party. I'm keeping it a little chalky, but we got some plus money. We cashed the plus 188 last week. This week we're going for a plus 110, and I think it should be pretty easy. Join me on the bus. Leg number one, we're going with CLD from England, man. Listen, I'm just fading this right here. The biggest neck you've ever seen in the UFC. Eric Anders. And listen, I'm the kind of guy who once in a while will take a dog shot at this guy, but not Not in this fight. He's going to have trouble with CLD. CLD is rangy. He's a striker, kickboxer, loves to keep it on the mat, on the feet, excuse me. Doesn't like to take it down. And when he does get taken down, he's got great takedown defense. He'll be up against the cage before he lets you take him down. And I just don't think it's happening. I think that Eric Anders is kind of a dog, so he's going to want to stand up together with CLD, but CLD is going to be too much, being able to keep the distance. I think he's going to point him to death. Look for a CLD decision if we're talking about methods of victory. But that's leg number 1, CLD. Let's go right to leg number 2. I'm taking a guy with another nickname that starts with C. Give me C-Rod. And it's actually a fade spot for me, like I said in our group chat, boys. I am fading touchy-feely. I just can't get with this guy. I can't put USD on him. Will not waste any coin on this dude whatsoever. I think he's washed. I know he's not like the oldest cat, right? He's 35, but I think he's washed. I think his better days are way over. And C-Rod's kind of still a young dog, although we saw the loss to Melky, which is all right. Melky kind of looked pretty serious until I think he didn't in his last fight, right? But Melky's not bad. He's gotten some good wins behind him. I think C-Rod's got that heart, man, that move forward pressure. I think he's definitely going to do what he wants to Feely, and I think he's going to be the stronger guy in the cage, which is weird because C-Rod's not even that strong. But I think his toughness, his forwardness, I think it's going to be there, the pressure. If he takes it down, he can take your back. However, I see another decision, so we are going to be sweating on the bus this week. Give me C-Rod by decision. And to finish it off, the easiest leg, the anchor to every one of your parlays. Again, just like last week, we're going to the last fight, the main event. I'm taking Fluffy all day, every day. Listen, nobody wants to see a rematch of Dolidze and Imavov. Nobody wants to see that shit, bro. We need Hernandez to win. We need Kai Barallo probably to win. And then we need to see those two go at it. That's the next fight to get to the belt. And yeah, man, Hernandez is going to do whatever he wants in there. He's on a massive win streak. He's nonstop. Like Danny said, he will drown you. He is smothering. He has great fight IQ. If he sees he can beat you on the feet, he'll keep you there for a while. And he's got those cheeky little elbows, bro. This kid will elbow you in the clinch more than anybody. He smashes faces with that elbow. Dolidze is going to be bleeding everywhere. And I see Fluffy taking his back, getting that choke. Give me a round 2, 3, or 4 to finish by Fluffy. I'm going probably submission, rounds 2, 3, 4. Fluffy cashes the bus. And I'll see you for the second week in a row when that shit cashes. Cal, do something with that, Cal.
Meow, Mr. Plus Bus Night. Yo, there you have it. 3-legger, CLD, C-Rod, and Anthony Fluffy Hernandez for plus 110. All right, Slick, let's talk about these legs that Mr. Plus is climbing the bus with. And first off is Christian Leroy Duncan, man. He's a big favorite, but probably for good reason. I mean, Anders is tough, like he said. He's an old, wily vet, 38 years old, physical specimen. He's in pretty damn good shape. He's got power. He's got wrestling. But my worry about him is that he's actually gotten dropped in his last 2 fights by Chris Weidman, and Jamie Pickett knocked him down. And I was like, oh, nah, that's no bueno. So I feel like maybe CLD has a chance to put him away. You think he could find like one of those crafty elbows or knees or kind of Muay Thai style strikes he likes?
Yeah, but the thing about CLD, man, is that he just doesn't know when to be aggressive. Like, the one thing I hate about him is that he's a great striker, but sometimes he just doesn't let those hands go. And when you want him to really land those punches and those knees and those elbows, he just decides to grapple fest guys and just hold them in the clinch. And the one thing about it is that he's fighting a guy that's actually going to give him the type of fight that he wants in the clinch, you know. Anders himself is one of those guys that try to hold you against the cage, implement those knees, implement those elbows, implement those body punches against the octagon. But the one thing I did really dislike about Anders in this spot is that he's already confirming this is his last fight on his contract, and he's already confirming that if he loses, he's gonna retire. So I'm not willing to bet on him. I could bet on him maybe being like a tough guy his last fight, you know, leaving it all out there and trying not to get finished. So I could definitely see the decision angle, but there's no way I could bet Anders in the spot. I love CLD.
All right, there you called for it. If you're talking retirement, you're 1 foot out the door. It's an auto fade. Anytime you talk retirement, that was my mistake, man. I believed in Poirier. I believed in this is one last, I'll leave it all out. Once you're talking retirement, man, you're already there mentally. And he even said so. Totally side tangent, but he said a couple shots. I didn't step forward thinking about my daughter a little bit. Already a little bit out the door. All right, CLD, we got to fade Anders there for that reason alone, if anything else. He's going C-Rod, Slick. C-Rod, the prospect killer, taking on the veteran here again in Feely. What do you think of Feely? And Feely got insta-subbed by Melky Costa, so plus understandably down on him. It was a fast loss. It was like, what was that fight? And then C-Rod had a pretty good, hard-fought fight with Melky Costa, both coming off respective losses to Costa, actually. But what do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually thinking about taking, like, when I first seen this matchup, I was thinking about taking the Feely in this spot. But watching tape, I'm just disliking his fight IQ. This guy is coming into fights and he's just fighting, like against Dan Ige. Instead of wrestling a guy like Dan Ige, he just decides to strike with him. Against Mel Costa, instead of just trying to strike with him, shoots a takedown, basically puts himself in the guillotine because he was out of the guillotine and then he let Costa readjust. And then that's when Costa really got the sub on him. And my dislike about C-Rod is just that same thing with the Costa fight. Like, he could have smoked Costa. We seen it in the third round. We seen what C-Rod was able to do to Costa in that third round, almost getting a 10-8. But he just let the first rounds basically just get away from him. I think in this spot, I'm going to trust C-Rod a little bit more just because of the youthfulness. And I think that he could stick to a game plan better than Feely could. I just don't think Feely, he has wins against guys like Lucas Almeida and guys like that in his recent fights. But I just think C-Rod's ability to switch it up in this spot, I think it will make Feely a little bit hesitant. We've seen Feely against guys like Nathaniel Wood, who's a little bit smaller than Feely, natural 135er. So I think this is a good spot for C-Rod to, and also C-Rod against Mel Costa and Julian Erosa. I just think he was getting used to the weight class. He was fighting at 135, being a weight bully, and getting those guys getting those prospects out of there. So I think at 145, I'm gonna look. I haven't really did no Instagram looks at him, stuff like that. But if he looks in shape, looks ready for the weight, watching him on weigh-ins when it comes to Friday, I think I'm gonna bet C-Rod myself.
All right, there you have it. So Slick liking C-Rod as well. Mr. Plus, you said you like a decision, right?
Yeah, I think it goes to decision, man. I obviously we could see Feely getting finished, but I do think it goes to decision.
And what about CLD? Do you think CLD knocks Anders out, or are you going decision?
No, I got to go decision there too, man. Like Slick said, he doesn't know when to be aggressive enough. So although I think he'll outpoint the shit out of him and it's going to be a clear 30-27 unanimous, I mean, they're not, they're peppering shots. I mean, he'll do a little bit of damage, not a lot of damage.
And you said for Fluffy, you're looking at a late sub, maybe 3-4-5 submission.
Fluffy, like either 2-3-4, 3-4-5. I haven't decided yet, but I think he definitely gets the sub. There's levels to this shit, and Fluffy's a level way above Dolidze.
All right, man. There you have it. The Mr. Plus Parlay Bus, plus 110. All right, fellas. Onward we march. Shout out Rico in the chat. Shout out C. Calvary in the chat. He's loving the talk. Shout out Cal, too, dropping his takes as well. Next up, hands together. Plus is ready. It's time for the Brasco Breakdown.
Brasco's Breakdown. Brasco's Breakdown.
All right, man. Who's ready to sweat with me? Because I am going to be sweating bullets watching the Brasco Breakdown. This week, I'm going with a prop. I'm not picking a side, and I'm going with the main event of the evening, Hernandez versus Dolidze, to go the distance. A war between two guys who absolutely have finishing ability, but I think their durability is the key asset here, and I think both can push each other to the brink and survive to the final bell. Now we know, like the guys mentioned, Fluffy Hernandez, he breaks people. He can drown you with his chain wrestling, nonstop attack, forward pressure, the dirty boxing, just always pouring it on you. And I think Dolidze is going to have a hard time with that. I think he's going to get taken down often. I think he's going to be struggling off his back, getting back up, getting taken back down. But, man, we forget he's Georgian, man. He's made of that same toughness that Marab and freaking Ilya bone density, man. And as bad as he looked in that Imavov fight at times, I thought he was going to get out of there. he survived that fight. I can't believe that was a majority decision, but Emo beat the shit out of him. But, he made it to the final bell. He can be awkward when he labors, but he's still super powerful. He's still super dangerous. Slick talked a little bit about his grappling. He has a jiu-jitsu pedigree. He's got all sorts of like sambo grappling acumen and like skills. But he's not really submitting people. He's the guy that's known early on in his career to jump heel hooks very foolishly. And Slick mentioned, some low IQ moves sometimes from Dolidze. But nonetheless, he does have grappling. He can scramble a little bit. I think he's likely to lose those scrambles. But I don't know, Mr. Plus, if it gets him submitted. I think he's got good enough jiu-jitsu and submission defense to not get subbed. We saw Michel Pereira, who was on death's door for like 5 rounds, basically, not get stopped till the very end of that fight, in that fluffy fight. And Dolidze has never been stopped in his MMA career. And Anthony Hernandez hasn't been stopped since 2020. So it's been over 5 years since he's been finished. That was the Kevin Holland stoppage to the body. Is the only place you can hurt Anthony Hernandez. His chin is made of freaking granite. And he got anaconda choked by Marcus Perez. Like, that's just like fluky shit. Things happen, right? Since then, Hernandez is 10x better of a fighter. So, man, I think it's going to be a war in which Dolidze hurts him too. He's got heavy hands, man, the Georgian striker. But I think he's going to get overwhelmed. I think he's going to get rinsed and repeat takedown and beat up on the ground by Fluffy. So I like the pick for sure. I'm on Fluffy with the fellas. I think he's a great parlay piece. But I got this going the distance at plus 150. Yo, riddle me this. Odds makers have the over-under at 3.5. So I'm not crazy. They see it going deep. I see it going the whole way. Mr. Plus, your thoughts. Am I crazy?
I don't think you're crazy. I mean, I was just looking at his stats. Dolidze's never been put out. He's never been finished. He's never been knocked out. He's never been subbed. That's definitely something to look at. You know who else was never subbed or finished? Hyung Sung Park last week. Just a heads up. No, I don't. It could go either way. Maybe we take Fluffy by submission decision. That might be the move. It might be a little bit of a better line than the actual money line. So we'll have to look at it. But hey, listen, if the plus bus turns into a decision bus and I go decision, maybe that's the move.
That could be cool. That could be a little decision prop bus. Hyungsang Park is a 10-0 Korean prospect. Dolidze is a ranked middleweight. But I understand your point. I understand your sentiment. Slick, what do you think about my chances that this might go the whole way?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not liking it. I think Anthony Hernandez is gonna find that sub. And for me personally, I think I'd rather sweat a sub with Anthony Hernandez going for 8 subs and not getting it than having to fight to go the distance. And he has Dolidze in like an arm triangle second round, and he's like, and it's like 30 seconds left in it.
Fight the
personally, honestly, outside of Jack Hermanson, who has Dolidze actually not have the grappling edge over? Like, he hasn't really fought that many grapplers. Like, he has fought all strikers for Marvin Vettori, guys like that in the top whatever, and he's been able to not even wrestle because a lot of those fights he doesn't even shoot takedowns. Against Jack Hermanson, he's pulling Gilly. That was my one concern with him, was like he pulling Gilly against Jack Hermanson, and then you can just see that he's trying to get the next scramble with Imavov, and that's what I don't want Anthony Hernandez opponents to do. Like, that's why I picked Anthony Hernandez with Brendan Allen last time they fought, because I knew Anthony Hernandez was going to be able to get those scrambling exchanges, and he's just going to win them, And the one thing we know about Georgians, if you want to get really technical, all these Georgians fight strikers. We haven't seen Giga Chikadze for all strikers his whole career. Marab, outside of Umar, all strikers for outside of Ricky Simone, where he got guillotined and got slept. Like Elliot Taporia, I don't even want to mention that Bryce Mitchell fight. So
yeah, come on.
Outside of Bryce Mitchell, Charles didn't even get a chance to grapple the guy. So I don't know, man.
Okay, wait, that's a hot take. The Georgians grappling hasn't been tested. Other than obviously Marab is good, but I know what you mean. But
yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, if it hits, I'm not saying I'm betting Anthony Hernandez sub, or I'm like, if I get a good number on it, like Mr. Plus, like round 3, 4, or 5, I really like those types of props because you get bigger numbers. So maybe, but outside of that, man, if you want to take a sprinkle on the distance, like I said, middleweights, They're known
Distance.
for going to decision, man. They're
Overs.
known for going to decision.
Middleweight overs. I like it. All right, man. Well, that was the Brasco breakdown. I'm going with the distance. That was also, we all covered the main event. We didn't throw it up, Cal. I don't know if you have it there. I mean, we just felt it. Right at the 30-minute mark, too. That was perfect. Perfect timing. All right, man. Well, we did a great breakdown on the main event there. We all like Hernandez. I'm going to sweat the decision. Plus likes a submission. Slightly in that way, too. But potential over 3.5. Cal's in the chat. He says he likes fluffy money line fight to start round 3. That could be a nice way to play it. I like that little 2-legger. But we got to let him out the cage, man. Time for more plus money. Time for the dogs of the week. I like that piano with it. That's hot. All right. You guys, okay, some agreement here. All right, I'll let Slick go, man. Dog of the week for you this week. A reliable old dog, eh?
A reliable is right, man. She has cashed twice for the Slick report before, and now we're going again for the dog of the week. We're going with Angela Hill money line. I've seen right now you get her around plus 160 around that edge. Around that line. And honestly, I just don't believe in Lucindo. Like she every single time, like before her last fight against Lemos, which Lemos was also the Slick report against Lucindo, her last fight. I just don't trust her anymore. She has shown glimpses against bums, but as soon as she's faced some type of good talent, she just laid an egg. Like she got out wrestled by a striker really in Lemos. Lemos became Khabib that fight. She got out wrestled by Wei Li. She said, "I'm becoming Khabib next fight." And I just trust Angela Hill in this spot to just keep doing more. I think Lucindo does try to wing that same right hand, which I said and when she fought Lemos, that Lemos was able to take advantage of. Instead, she took advantage of it in another way, which was the wrestling. And we see Angela Hill do it time and time again against these girls that are supposed to be prospects. Fight Angela Hill. She shows her toughness. She shows that you can't get her out of there in the first or second round. And in the middle of that second round, third round, she just blossoms. Like I would say she definitely laid the small egg against Caitlin Souza, where I think she lost, honestly. But I just don't think Lucindo is more diverse like Caitlin Souza, in the sense that Caitlin Souza could knock you out with one punch. She could clinch her arm bar in the second when she's on bottom. Lucindo is more of a try to get her positions, and that's where she's able to take advantage of. I just don't think Angela Hill, she's going to keep this fight on the feet. She's going to land more shots. Of course, she's not going to have the power edge, but she's going to land way more shots. She's going to put Lucindo to a place that she hasn't been outside of her last fight. And if she makes Lucindo starts to breathe hard outside of that first round, I'm going to love Angela Hill even more, because we've seen Angela Hill time and time again against these good power punchers like Amanda Lemos still be in there in that second and third round, still being in your face, still trying to clinch, still trying to get some wrestling going. And if she wants to get her wrestling boots going in this fight, like we seen her again when she fought Pinedo, then we're going to really see her really take advantage of that gas tank. So I'm going to take Angela Hill money line in this spot. I don't think Lucindo is such good as these odds suggest. She just lost her last fight as a minus 140 favorite. I understand it was Amanda Lemos, but we arguably seen Angela Hill win against Amanda Lemos when they had fought. So I think Angela Hill just shows time and time again her record doesn't speak for itself. She's definitely going to put a nice show on. I think she gets the win. I would say split decision win, because she just loves split decision wins. So I'm going to go with Angela Hill.
The Angie split special. She's been in 5 split decisions. She had a really bad run of them for a while, but then the UFC gave her a couple. It felt like she was due. But Angie often in close fights, and you know it, man. She's throwing the volume, pressure, strike attack. She's got that Muay Thai style. She's good with the elbows and the knees. I mean, plus Lucinda, he said it. Lucinda's coming off a disappointing performance where the striker Lemos just kind of laid on her. It was a very uneventful fight, boring fight. But at the end of it, we were like, Lemos plus 120? I had one unit. I was like, why wasn't this a life savings play? Like, damn. Do you think Lucindo, I mean, she's 23, Hill's 40. there's got to be at least an athleticism advantage for Lucindo here. What do you think about her in this fight?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Lucindo's had a lot of fights for a 23-year-old, only been in the UFC for a couple years, but she's definitely active and remained active. I think that this is a great spot for our girl, Angela Overkill Hill. I think the plus money is the move. I think it's dog or pass. I think that the line is off. I mean, there's no reason this shouldn't be a pick 'em. And Angela Hill just always finds a way to win. She's gritty. She's got heart. And, you know, like Slick said, she literally will keep constantly throwing punches and volume, even if it's not her fight. And then it slowly creeps in and turns into her fight. So she knows how to do that. I think that advantage, if Lucindo doesn't put her out, maybe with that young power, which it's really hard to put Angela Hill out. I think we could see Overkill Hill win rounds 2 and 3. Don't be surprised if she drops the first round and takes in data and calculates what she needs to do in the next rounds. She's good at listening to her coaches, and her fight IQ is really, really good. So, yeah, Overkill Hill all day. Although she's 40, she looks like she's in fucking the best shape of her life and maybe has the most muscle she's ever had in these last couple fights.
Wow, looking built. Hey, I got to check her out on the socials, but that's good to hear too. All right, so both of them, dog of the week, Angie Overkill Hill, the 40-year-old still going at it. I feel like I want to ride Hill with you guys. I feel like I'm leaning towards Lucindo. For some reason, I see her just like getting some takedowns or like, I don't know, but I feel like it's going to be close, and the over 2.5 is a minus 720. That's so disgusting. So I feel like I'm either want to play split decision, like Slick said, or maybe just for the hell of it, just sprinkle a finish. Like minus 720, it's still a fight, man. Like, come on, someone could slip on a banana peel and fall on their head. I don't know. Thank you, MMA Jesus. Nice shirt, Danny. Thanks, bro. My fighting nerd shirt. I wish a nerd was on this card, but Plus and Slick going with Angie Overkill Hill as their dog of the week. All right, my dog of the week, guys. Man, I hate to go against the bus, but I'm actually kind of feeling Andre touchy-feely a little bit. And the main reason is because I'm just rolling with the trend for C-Rod. Prospect killer, struggles with the veterans, and also struggles with guys that are bigger than him. And Slick said that he maybe was figuring out the weight class, and I think that's a fair point, but I don't know if he's appropriate at all at 145. I feel like we saw him against Costa, of course, struggle at times with the size. And, of course, with Erosa, I mean, the long, lanky grip with the front chokes, that's going to get a lot of these guys. Feely's going to be Feely doesn't have those tools necessarily, but he's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage, 4-inch height advantage about. And I just feel like the market's too down on him for a really shitty loss. It was a really whack guillotine. But we were also equally down on Feely when he got sent to the freaking shadow realm by Dan Ige. And what did he do? He bounced back in his next fight. He beat Cub Swanson in a good back-and-forth fight. So I don't want to just totally turn my cheek on Feely. I don't want to say that he's cooked. He might be. Plus, you might be right. He's 35. He's going on his 25th UFC fight. So he has a shit ton of experience. We'll see if his durability is there. But I feel like this is going to be a close back-and-forth fight. And I think the experience edge is going to play a factor late in it. But we'll see, man. Maybe he's cooked. I don't think C-Rod has the power necessarily, unless Feely's chin is cracked, to necessarily get his respect back. So if they start trading, maybe Feely sees, oh shit, I can move forward with and throw my hands without too much fear. I don't know. That's my read, but we'll see. We'll see. I think it's going to be a good fight. I like Feely. All right, y'all. We talked about that fight. JB's in the mix. Jewish Better in the live chat. He says Slick is back. Good to see you. Everyone's hyped, man. All right, well, everyone's hyped to come together as we finish the show all the time, guys, with a parlay for the people. Time to lace them up for the Darce Parlay.
Jasmine Jastovitz is here. Don't forget to tap into the Darce podcast.
Cal on the ones and twos. We are live. Banger. All right, man. 3 legs. 3 legs to rule them. We got to run it back. We hit last week's Darce Parlay for the people. Slick, you're leading it off with the first fight of the night. Who you got?
We're going with Gabriela Hernandez in the spot. And we all know we don't really trust these girls when they're minus 350, minus 400 and stuff like that. I just think Julia Stoliarenko is probably one of the worst girls that I ever seen in the UFC. She has 10 wins, 10 of them, I believe I think she has 10 or 11 wins. 10 of them come by first round armbar. I really believe she's armbar or bust. We seen Luana Carolina fucking look like Dustin Poirier in there against fucking Julia Stoliarenko, punching bag equals Gabriela Fernandez. I think I know a lot of people probably think that it could be a letdown spot because she looked so good against Kong Wang. But I just think, honestly, I just think we overlooked her in that spot. We overlooked her toughness. We overlooked her grappling edge in that spot. And in this spot, I just believe that if she wants to keep this fight on the feet, land the bigger punches, Julia is just going to be there for her to land them. So Gabriela Fernandez, she's young. She has the cardio. Honestly, I think she has everything in this spot outside of an arm bar that Julia Stoliarenko has. So give me Gabriela Fernandez, which could be a first round finish, second round finish for her.
That's it, man. And yeah, hit the like and subscribe if you aren't already. Appreciate that. I like that little emoji there. Slick, Gabrielle Fernandez, I agree. Minus 440. It's like, don't want to lay that, but 100% think that she gets a knockout in this fight. Stoliarenko is armbar or bust. If this fight is standing, plus Fernandez is a fierce striker for 125. That left cross, she's physical. She can rip. And she pulled off the biggest upset on the card of that fight night, upsetting Kong Wang, who everyone had winning by knockout. Hernandez hit her with a head kick, dropped her with a straight left, choked her out. So we think she can get a finish over Julia Stoliarenko here?
Yeah, I've been waiting for this girl to fight again. I'm excited to get a victory here. Stoliarenko is a stupid armbar or loser. It's the worst strategy ever. It's almost like the Molly Meatball strategy. Just go out swinging or you lose. It's kind of funny. Yeah, give me Gabriela Fernandez all day. She's a parlay piece here for sure. Like Slick said, she could get the finish, but we'll see.
We'll see. The under 2.5 is the under 2.5 minus 175, which I thought was like, damn. I thought it was going to snipe some value. Yeah, like not even. My leg, good fight to talk about here on this limited kind of card, but a fighter that we've had our eye on for a long time, and just a stud in the making. Gene Matsumoto, man, give me him over Miles Johns all day. Minus 310. I'm just trying to find worthwhile favorites, right? We're like, we don't want to lay the 700 and the 520. So trying to find worthwhile legs. Minus 310, I like it over Miles Johns. Matsumoto's coming off that split decision loss to Rob Font. I mean, that was a war. And I remember actually the fight started with they were going to go touch gloves, it looked like. And Font was like, nah, we're not touching gloves. It was kind of almost like a fake glove touch, it looked like, or like a misunderstanding. Ping, bang! Hit him with a huge 1-2, and that immediately opened up damage, and the fight started right there. So Matsumoto was just in a bad spot against his hardest opponent yet, and still barely lost split decision. Pushed him to the brink, landed 7 takedowns, showed his well-roundedness. I like his striking, man. He's got good kickboxing, heavy low kicks, Muay Thai style, elbows and knees, grappling defense with the guillotines. He still needs to work on his wrestling defense. So the only concern is is Miles Johns going to put on a wrestling clinic? But Miles Johns isn't really out wrestling that many guys lately. He's fancied himself a boxer too. And I think if he strikes Matsumoto, he's going to lose. I don't see him just keeping Matsumoto pinned to the mat. I just don't see that in my mind's eye. So maybe Matsumoto's not worth minus 310, but I definitely think he can beat Miles Johns. And I think at some point he's going to be piecing him up. Slick, what do you think about Gene in this fight?
Yeah, I mean, I understand your perspective with Gene, but you're talking like he's supposed to be like a smaller favorite. I honestly thought that he was supposed to be a bigger favorite in this spot. I think Miles Johns, in the sense that he's just left hook, right hook, doesn't really add any type of kicks to his arsenal. It's just gonna feed into Matsumoto's fight IQ. We've seen this guy time and time again going to what he's known for, taking advantage of what he's able to take advantage of. And he got outstruck by a guy like Rob Font. But Rob Font has one of the cleanest jabs in the UFC, and probably one of the best straight up boxing, in the sense that he just has a nice 1-2 down the middle. Like I said, Miles John is nowhere near that. He's left hook, right hook, tries to get the wrestling going, but we've seen guys like Felipe Lima able to take advantage of it. Felipe Lima more of the grappler type. I think Matsumoto has the better wrestling in this and than Felipe Lima. So he took our guy What's his name? I'm starting to lose him. The guy that Mr. Plus always makes fun of from
Brad
Canada.
Katona.
You know, he was able to take advantage of Brad Katona's wrestling, and that's all Brad Katona is known for really able to get the wrestling going and stuff like that. So I think this is a good spot for Matsumoto. Honestly, don't think he gets to finish in this spot. I think Miles John has shown good toughness, and Matsumoto, I just don't think he's going to attack as many subs. If he does get the wrestling going, he might just lay on him for a little bit, especially if coaches tell him it's 1 or 2 minutes left in the round. So I think that's what I really like about Matsumoto is just his fight IQ and his will to just fight. Like, you know, if Johns drops him in the first round, I won't put it away that Matsumoto could come back and win the round outside of that drop. So I think it's a good spot for Matsumoto to get a good bounce back win over a guy like Miles Johns.
If you think Johns can stand up to because you're right, he's so much more dynamic than him. Plus, I'm feeling like if Johns is tough enough, Matsumoto's significant strikes could be a play.
Absolutely a play for sure. Johns is definitely durable. You know, we've seen his toughness before. And, you know, he's okay. But when he fights these better next level fighters, he gets beat up. And when G Matsumoto wins by decision, he beats the shit out of you. So it could be a very long night for Miles Johns. I like the side. I like the take. I'm a little scared to put Gene into parlays just yet, but I think as we get closer to fight time, I'm going to throw him in a couple. And I do think him winning is inevitable. Just I think it'll be a decision. So I hope it's not a split.
All right, maybe we'll look at the Sig Stripes props if you guys think that Johns will last the distance in a fight there. And so far we got Hernandez, we got Matsumoto, plus you got to close it out for us. What we got?
Yeah, we're sticking with the easiest leg on the entire card. Trust me when I tell you, anchor your parlays with the main event. It's fluffy all day, every day. And whether he wins and Dolidze does survive like Danny thinks, because, you know, the guy's never been put away before, it'll be convincing. Absolutely, no matter what, Anthony Hernandez is winning this fight. I think it's sub or decision. You convinced me to say or decision now.
Yeah, what if he wins like 50-43 and he gets 10-8'd in 2 rounds? I'm like, survive, please!
Yeah. That'll be a fun sweat for you.
Fight the hands!
I'll be messaging the group chat for sure.
That'll see it fun. Now. All right, guys. Gabby Fernandez, Gene Matsumoto, Anthony Hernandez, plus 109 Darce parlay for you. And there you have it. All right. Only a few fights left to cover. It's the ones we haven't talked about on the honorable mentions. All right. This is a late addition to the card here. Cody Brundage. Minus 190. Eric McConaughey, plus 145. Line's coming down. I said at first I wanted my dog to be Eric McConaughey, plus 175. It already moved 30 cents, guys. What do we think about this short notice fight, Slick? Any thoughts on Brundage McConaughey?
If you're putting actual coin on Cody Brundage at minus 200, I really don't know what to say. Like, this guy has been known to quit fights, has been known to have a back and forth brawl with Julian Marquez, getting finished almost 8 times. I just don't get the odds. I could go out there and fight Cody Brundage and I'll probably be plus 112. Like, I really don't know what people think. Like, betting Cody Brundage at minus 200. The guy could go out there, Eric McConaughey hits the back of his head by accident, and he'll quit. Like,
wow.
Like, he made the softest fighter in the UFC and Jacob Malkoun look like the toughest fighter.
Yo, but you got to give him some respect for that Julian Marquez win. That was a banger. Look at Slick's face.
A banger. He almost lost 8 times.
Anyone could have won that fight. Oh.
And the ref gave him a second to recover too, and then he hit the uppercut.
Dogger pass for me.
Dogger pass.
At least I could say Ruziboyev looked like he was tough against Nursultan Ruziboyev.
He did look tough for a little bit. Listen, I'm saying with Slick, I'm dogger pass, and I'm going to be really straight up with you guys. This is a hard pass for me. You can be late to the fights this week. The first one you're gonna miss. If you know what, if you like finishes, you're probably gonna see one in the first fight. However, you could be late to betting these fights. You do not have to bet every fight. I'm telling you right now, that's not a fun one to bet on. I'm not fucking touching that fight with money. But yeah, dog or pass.
Dog or pass it is. I'm in agreement. All right. We talked. Oh, Jocelyn Edwards versus Priscilla Cachoeira. This one I actually have circled. It's not that slick Henny break because this is going to be a banger. Priscilla Cachoeira is a first-round finisher. She's got granite in her fists, and Edwards has stopped her last two opponents. She's actually low-key getting better and being more aggressive. I'm watching tape today, guys, and Jocelyn Edwards fights. Bro, her and Tamaris Vidal pointed at the center, Max Holloway style again. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. But it was a pretty good aggressive fight. So I'm feeling like no distance, maybe. I feel like either Cachoeira gets the finish or gets finished. Plus, what are your thoughts on that?
I kind of like how good Jocelyn Edwards is getting, and I'm going to ride the momentum. She got the KO and then the sub before that. I like this style for her. I think she's got knees. She throws knees. Not a lot of the girls throw knees. She throws some fucking crazy kicks and knees. She's got those long legs. They're thick. I think she can get it done. Pause. I think she can get the job done. Although when it seems like it's going to be like that in women's MMA, it kind of goes the opposite way. So don't be surprised if these girls are like both somewhat durable, get punched, get beat up, and kind of just last the whole way through. But I do like Jocelyn Edwards to get her hand raised.
I think, Slick, the last time Cachoeira went to decision was like 3 or 4 years ago, and it was the fight of the night against Ji-Yeon Kim, and it was like they traded back and forth. So normally she's getting them at. She finished Ariane Lipski in the first round. She can get you out of there early, and then she's also been finished. But by higher caliber fighters, Miranda Maverick armbarred her, Jasmine Jasdavicius, the Channel's own right here, put her away, of course. So I don't know. What do you think about this fight? Edwards, like you said, she got them thick-ass legs, man. There's power in there. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's death taxes and Cachoeira to not go to decision. Like the girl, she just doesn't go to. She goes all out. She tries to put it all out there in that first and second round, and then half the time she just death gasses herself. And the one thing that I understand what Mr. Plus is saying, but if this was a striker versus striker, I would honestly could see like a fight of the night with like Ji-Yeon Kim in the sense that Edwards doesn't really have good power. And I understand she knocked out Chelsea Chandler, but I'm not too high on that knockout at the end of the day. But Edwards does have the grappling edge. Like she does have the takedowns. Cachoeira has 0% takedown defense. She's gonna be like if Edwards wants, she could take her down at will. And if Edwards be able to take the back, Cachoeira just gonna get death gassed even more. But I wouldn't mind going with the Paul Craig special. We're going with Jocelyn Edwards by sub, and then throw a little sprinkle on Priscilla Cachoeira by knockout. That's her only path to victory. She is not gonna get a sub no matter what. She's gonna try to knock out Edwards in the first or second round. So throw a little sprinkle on both, and you're bound to cash one of them. I don't think Edwards is going to knock out Priscilla Cachoeira. She's not really. I think Cachoeira, she has shown that she has a bad body, and I don't think Edwards has the type of body work that will have to sustain in this fight to really knock out a girl like Cachoeira. She does have good knees, but they're more in the clinch and not really out in the open like RDR and guys like that. I think it's a good spot for Cachoeira to really clip her if she wants to get those knees going from the outside. So, Like I said, Cachoeira by KO, Edwards by sub.
I like it, man. I absolutely like it. Jewish Better says that Edwards could ground and pound her too. It's possible. I do like that point. She's physical. She will have that strength and physique edge, and she could just look to feel that in the grappling. With Vidal, she felt it, and then she just started driving forward on her at will and taking her down, no problem. So I could see that here again too, Slick. Maybe full mount just says, yo, make me stop punching you. Make me stop punching you. Can't? I think the ref will. Maybe something there. But I think a no distance for sure. Slick likes the knockout or sub. I mean, the sub number is sneaky too because she turns around, gives up the neck. You get a sub there too. So I like it. I think Edwards' finish is the play. I think this fight's not going distance. Under 2.5 plus 165. So you can get plus money on that one. That's low-key a fight that I'm like really interested on this card. We got Elijah Smith at -700 taking on Toshiomi Kazama. Mr. Plus, are we going to bet Elijah Smith in any way? Is he getting this guy out of here?
This is the easiest skip of the night. I'm not betting this fight. I don't care what happens. I got no side on it. I hope that Kazawaza wins. I don't even give a shit. I don't believe in Elijah Smith. One UFC fight and you're -700. I don't care who you're fighting. That's disrespectful. And let's be honest. We've seen Kazamaza in some pretty funky, weird situations. I'm skipping this fight. Easy pass.
My man said Kazamaza. Kazam, Shaquille O'Neal. No, that's Shazam. Is that that's wait, is it Kazam?
Kazama.
Was he Shazam or Kazam? I can't remember.
It was
now.
Shazam.
It was Shazam. Slick Toshiomi Shazama.
We're talking about Kazam.
What do you think? Elijah Smith, bantamweight prospect, Aaron Tao on Contender Series, and then he took on Vince Morales. Morales threw up some sub attempts. He had to ward off some tricky moments, so he showed some maturity there. But what do you think? I mean, Kazama's kind of submission or bust, right?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I can't trust Kazama in this spot. I think Elijah Smith has shown his toughness in that fight against Vince Morales, who time and time again has shown if you're not a good prospect, you will lose to Vince Morales. We've seen him put guys like Raul Rosas Jr. in bad spots. Just time and time again, he's just a tough out for these prospects. And me personally, I seen Elijah Smith probably in one of the most toughest Darce chokes in his last fight against Vince Morales. I don't believe whatever Kazama brings, unless he breaks his arm or breaks his neck, he's not going to win this fight. So if it keeps standing, I think Elijah Smith could knock him out in the first round. Yeah, so I think Elijah Smith gets this easy win, and the UFC doing him a favor because, man, to get Vince Morales in your debut fight, it's just like Raul Rosas Jr. got him when he was like 4 or 5 fights in, So I think this is a great spot for Smith to get the KO. Because I'm a sub or bust.
Rico likes it too in the chat. Smith KO. I could see like a bang, like an uppercut right up the middle. See it real quick, one hitter quitter from Smith, maybe as a Kazama shoots in.
That's all right, man. Because we've never seen him do that before, so it's just crazy that we're just dreaming that that's going to happen. I'm just not a fan of Elijah Smith. I don't think he's that good. We'll see.
We'll see, man. He's got knockout wins on his on his regional scene. He's got power.
Not the UFC.
No, yeah. All right, man. We fought Aaron Tao, and that guy is a freaking like tribesman.
That's to do with the tattoo on his face, right?
Nobody can finish that guy.
What?
Next up, Julius Walker versus Rafael Cerquera. I cannot believe that I once bet US dollars on Rafael Cerquera. That, I think, will go down as the worst bet I've ever made in my life. I bet him against Ivo Aslan. You know what Ivo Aslan did? He said, I don't respect you. Ping, 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 ping. Got him out of here. That was that. And since then, I don't know why Cerquera's still here. Then Modestas Bukauskas knocked him out. Julius Walker debuted against Alonzo Menefield. It was a close split decision. I did not think that fight was going the distance, but Menefield's a tough customer. So I got to feel like Walker's got the edge here. I mean, how does he get it done? With the grappling? Are they going to box? How do you see this fight playing out?
I really see the same outcome as his last 2 fights. Cerquera's last 2 fights. I see no different. Julius Walker will walk him against the cage. Once Cerquera is against the cage, he just doesn't know what to do when he's against the cage. Like, he looks like he wants to shell up, but the next thing you know, he shells up for like 2 seconds, and then he tries to swing, but then he doesn't commit to it, and the next thing you know, he's just getting bop, 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 bop in his face. Like, me personally, if you're getting knocked out like that by Modestas Bukauskas, who has shown time and time again that he goes to decision. I just don't know what people thinking. And like Julius Walker, he was sleeping on the couch when he got that Alonzo Menefield fight, and he freaking went the distance with Menefield in that spot. Actually took a round or 2 from him. So
yeah,
I think Julius Walker comes in here and does the same exact thing Modestas Bukauskas and Ivo Aslan did, and just knock him the fuck out.
Yeah. Plus, like I said, he doesn't circle off the fence. He just stays there like a target and gets pat, 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 pat. What do you think of this fight?
Oh, this is a tough son of a bitch. You want a first round knockout? Julius Walker's going to get it for you this fight. Yeah, I don't know how I ever put any money on Casera that one time, but the next time he gave me my money back against Modestas Bukauskas, and I got it by knockout. So, yeah, we're doing the same thing. We're going Julius Walker, round 1, KO, TKO, and I'll probably find another way to make money on this fight too. But yeah, this is a lock.
Yeah. We had to pay to learn that lesson. Now we're fading Cerquera as long as we can. Jewish Better, going back to the Kazama fight talk, he says that he almost got finished by Charlampos Gregorio. That's not a good look because he's looked pretty bad as an MMA player in the UFC. So
he's not even in the UFC no more. I actually followed Gregorio, and I seen a story of him talking about the UFC left him. I straight hit the unfollow button.
Oof.
Yeah. He's got a regular job and shit. Slick unfollowed him. It's fucked up.
He's like, "What's up, guys? Starting at Howard and Howardson's today."
I'm not trying to watch Octagon and PFL highlights with him.
He's like a paralegal. So it's like, why I still follow this guy? I'm playing. Good on him though. Next fight. Oh my god, it's the last one. And it's the co-main event of the evening that we haven't talked about. So shout out everyone who's still chatting with us that's in the live chat and breaking down these fights. We got Stevie Ursag looking to make his comeback against Ode Osborne. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. And fellas, he was a round away from maybe beating Alessandra Pantoja and becoming flyweight champion. Loses a close fight against him. Then loses to Kai Kara-France in devastating fashion. Gets slept with a right hand. And then loses to Brandon freaking Moreno. I mean, these are top-tier fighters. So say what you want to say about KKF after his last loss, but it happens, man. Pantoja's pretty damn good. I don't know if you noticed. Now, minus 520 against Ode. Yeah, it's a step down in competition. But, sheesh, I mean, minus 520. Ode's got power, Mr. Plus. Ode's got explosive ability. Ode beat Luis Gurule in his last fight when Gurule was my Darce leg as minus 300 and upset me. So what do we think? Does Ode have a chance to be on upset alert here? Or is Ursag going to remind everyone there's levels and he's a top-tier flyweight?
I think the latter. I think that Ursag is going to remind everyone that he's a level above someone like Ode Osborne, who is a little flashy. And don't get me wrong, yeah, he took our money on the last fight as a big underdog, but this is a better spot for Ursag. I just hate the line, man. I hate the line. It would be such a better line at fucking minus 310 and able to put in parlays minus whatever 500-600 now. It's gross, bro. I don't like it. That's why I didn't put it in anything. That's why it's an honorable mention.
Jewish Better said Steve Ursag fixed my laptop in 2008. So accurate. He's like a Best Buy Geek Squad employee looking like and he just like when you were talking about Charlampos, Jewish Better said they didn't leave him, he left them. All right, what do you think about the co-main, man? Any value on Ode as a big dog, or is Ursag? I'm feeling an Ursag sub. Maybe he reminds people he can grapple. What do you think about that?
I mean, we have to hope he does, because you would have hoped he had grappled against Kai Kara-France. You could have hoped he grappled against Brandon Moreno. We've seen guys have success against Brandon Moreno with the grappling. Guys like Figueiredo, guys like Pantoja, and I just don't know what he's gonna bring into this fight, man. Honestly, I want to say he gets the sub, but do we really think of Ursag outside of that Pantoja fight and his first fight in the UFC against David Dvorak? He just really hasn't shown that he's really going out there and really be able to go to his advantage, which is the grappling, because a lot of people think of him as this crazy KO artist after knocking out guys like Matt Schnell and stuff like that. And people forget that this guy's a top-tier grappler. I believe he's like an Australian Olympic guy out there and stuff like that. So I'm hoping he brings the wrestling in the spot. So I might be with you, man. I might be sprinkling a little bit on the sub. Hoping to get a little big number, though, because if it's like plus 200, plus 150, I might try to stay away from this fight entirely and just watch it.
Word. Yeah, I'm hoping the same. I want like a good plus odds, because in Eternal MMA, I think that's the promotion in Australia. He was a champ there, and he was subbing fools left and right. And then, yes, grappled a little with David Dvorak late in that fight. We saw it against Pantoja. He was on top. He could take him down. I mean, where's it at? So Ode's shown wrestling defensive laps, so I think you attack him there. But I don't know. I can feel, he can get caught with the right hand, and Ode's got a banging right hand like anyone does that with a big explosive power. So I have a little bit of worry in my heart for Steve Erceg get caught with that punch. I think he grappled, though. My camera's getting all blurry. All right, man. We did the damn thing. That's the co-main event. We gave you the plus bust, the slick report, the Brasco breakdown, the dogs of the week, the Darce parlay. What did I miss? Nothing. All of it. We did the damn thing. Dolidze, Hernandez, slick. How are we feeling? First show back.
Feeling good, man. At the end of the day, like I said, probably one of the worst cards I could have came back to betting wise. Always try to give y'all guys good props and good plays. But man, this is what the UFC has gave us. This is what we get. So we're cashing everything like we did last week. Let's cash everything this week.
Let's run it back. Yo, Plus, sign us out this week. Let's get a closing message.
Yo, you get what you get and you don't get upset. And that's what you got this week. We got Slick Montana back in the mix. Cal's always on the ones and twos. On behalf of my man Brasco, myself, Mr. Plus, we'll see y'all next week on another episode of the Darce.
We know the caliber of fight analyst that Slick is and the pedigree he brings to the table. But after a long layoff, how is Montana going to look with that time off?
I got my money on Slick by whatever way he wants.
From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, standing 5'10", weighing in at 185 pounds of pure resolve. He's the storm they couldn't stop, the legend they couldn't lay to rest. He is the illy from Philly, the slick one, Slick Montana.
Listen up, it's Slick Montana, sharp lines. I dissect Philly hustles in my veins. I collect, thank Hernandez, dogs rise. No surprise, we keep the faith in the fight. Ain't data driven, I'm precise, bringing knowledge to the light. My flows flow like a river. Oh.